Right, okay, well, no prizes for guessing what today's locomotive is. As you can see, it's by Hornby, and it's the Class 56 in rail freight livery, which is personally one of my favourite liveries because I love the 80s and the 90s. I was born in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and this was the livery that I got to see quite a lot. Well, at least until partway through the 90s when it started to change. But I love this livery. It's basically a giant grey body, yellow ends, splash of red, and then a gigantic British Rail logo. Now the real Class 56 is, well, does it look familiar to you? Does it look like any other locomotive that you've maybe seen or you're familiar with? If you're thinking Class 47, you'd be right. This is very similar to the Class 47. It's basically a skeleton of a Class 47 underneath, except it was re-engined. It's got different, it's got an ever so slightly different end to it. It's got ever so slightly different ends to it, I should say. But the Class 56 came from the Class 47. The Class 57 is basically a re-engined, slightly remodelled Class 47. These were Class 47s essentially, but designed for hauling coal, for doing MGR operations, and they did a fantastic job of them until they were replaced by the Class 58s. So let's have a look at it. Just take the sleeve off. Ah, that looks familiar. This looks like it's the new split style packaging. Yes, it is. Oh, nice. I do love this packaging. This is going to be a high score. I can feel it. I can sense it coming. I've heard great things about the Class 56. I really have. I've heard great things about it off other people. Okay. So opening up, whoa, this is the first time I've got some instructions for a Class 56. That's nice, I can add this to the collection. I'm going to need a ring binder, I think. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be usual stuff, isn't it? Okay, yes it is. Basically, how to apply oil to the wheels. Gosh, there's even accessories. But, I mean, surely she's pretty well detailed already. Well, you know, I'm just going off what I've heard and what I've read. But according to this, there's extra stuff to put on. Okay, well, I shall check that out in a second. She's DCC ready, which is good, so there's a nice little socket in there for us to just slot a chip into, which will be good, that'll help. Right, let's put that to one side. Oh, yeah, DCC jacket. Okay, take off the two little ends like that. Now, you've got to be careful at this point, obviously. Be careful how you hold it so that it doesn't fall apart. Ah, yes, the instructions are right. Look at that, a little pack of details. Let's have a look. So, in there it looks like we've got, if we can just open that further. Here we go. Don't be shy. Yeah, so there's a couple of couplers. And then what look like some vacuum pipes and the cables that are used to connect the locomotive to other locomotives. So that's nice. That's a real nice touch. I shall definitely be adding them, but not in this video. That'll be something else. So let's just take off this front cover. And as I say, this is what I love. I absolutely love this packaging because you just lift like that. Just take the top off it. And there she is. Gently ease her out into your hand. I know, she's still wrapped up in this paper, but I mean, I just think we're going to have to live with that forever. Hornby are never ever going to get rid of this paper, I don't think. And I suppose it's recyclable, you know, it's much more friendly to the environment, isn't it? Okay, well, the first thing you'll notice is these two huge metal clips. And they're basically just to help her in transit, you know, they're to help her while she's being delivered, while she's being transported from the factory to wherever. They just need taking out. you can see that there's some screws there. So you just unscrew those clips, take them off, and you know, job's a good one. Wow. Okay, I know I say it in nearly every single video, but she's heavy. Really heavy. It's actually quite hard to hold her, because my arm is around the camera, so it's quite hard to actually... I mean, I'm going to get huge arms doing these videos. But it's quite hard to hold her, because she's that heavy. She must be several kilos at least. Just look. I mean, this is without detail. And bear in mind that I'm going to add extra detail to this. As you can see, there's little holes and sockets on the buffer beam there to basically add extra piping and things. The buffers are sprung loaded, as you'd expect. Oh wow, the doors open too. Okay, that's impressive. I mean, that's the HSTs that the doors open on, the Class 50s that the doors open on, and the Class 56s as well. Oh my gosh, she is just incredible. She looks amazing. The buffers were a little bit wonky there, but again, sprung loaded. So all the doors open then? Yes, they do. I'm trying to keep my hands off the body. I'm trying to keep my grubby mitts from getting fingerprints and stuff all over. But it's not easy, because, well, just look at all this extra detail down at the bottom. All these little pipes. I mean, I keep feeling them every time I hold her. So it's actually quite hard to handle carefully, because there's... Look, see, there we go, fingerprint. There's just so much detail all over this locomotive. Oh gosh. Fans. And they look like they're going to spin too. I just don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. The detail is incredible. The weight is impressive. The doors open. There's the underframe is just packed full of detail. Okay, it could be painted and it could be weathered to make it look even more realistic, but just out of the box, you know, straight off the shelf, look how impressive this model is. Right, I'm going to have to put her on the track. Okay, so here we are at what's fast becoming Britain's most famous piece of skirting board. And here I am with the gorgeous Class 56 by Hornby. Now, it's actually really hard to get this many wheels onto the track, so I've gotten right down low, and I'm just being as careful with her as I absolutely can be, and that's incredible. I've actually just lined up, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 wheels all in one go. Okay, right. Let's just push her back a little bit. Okay, sorry, after having to cut again because somebody's just gone down the road on a moped. I'm back with the Class 56, and let's get straight to it and get her running. So she's on, everything's plugged in, everything's switched on, select direction. I'm actually quite nervous. Let's see what happens. Oh wow. Not again. Not another locomotive. I just don't have any words for it at all. Just look at that. Look, the lights are on, even though the power's really low. And the fans are spinning. Both of them. Oh my god. This is incredible. This model is exquisite. Can you see that? Can you see that power setting? That's not even at what I would class as running in speed. It's not even at 12 o'clock. And just look at how smoothly she's running. Look at the lights at the front. The fan's spinning at the top. Can you see him? I think you can just about make it out, can't you? Incredible packaging, incredible detail. One of the smoothest locomotives I have. Again, fans that spin at the top. A beautiful livery application. Sprung buffers. DCC ready. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I think this video can be summed up in 3 words basically. Buy it now.